WSockett is one of the most underrated creators that I've ever come across. He has this ability to seamlessly blend energy, enthusiasm, and humour in a way that very, very few people can. And every time I watch a piece of his content, it always leaves me absolutely howling. I've been working with Sockett on quite a few pieces of content over the past couple of months, and he was one of the first people and one of the most enthusiastic people to come and lend me a hand when he found out that I lost my job, and it was absolutely no benefit to him whatsoever. So I'm incredibly grateful to have him on the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Please do go and check out WSockett on YouTube and on TikTok, and I will see you guys on the next one. Sockett, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Like the last one we did with Andy, this is a little bit weird because we know each other and speak to each other.
I've not watched
regularly.
That one. Yeah,
you got to watch the one with Andy. Yeah,
I've not watched that one.
It's worth it. It's good. It's good.
I watched
the only one.
I watched the Peter Webley. I watched Peter Webley. Is that his name?
Webby.
I watched that one.
Yeah, Webby. Yeah. What do you think?
Nice guy. He was a nice guy.
Good. Glad you enjoyed it. Well, now you're in the hot seat.
Yep.
Explaining about your content successes, failures, learnings. But
I've had one success. Go.
One
I'll
success.
let you lead.
We'll follow in with that one. Yes, the t-shirt's very nice, by the way. We're both branded up. Both branded up today. We're both charmers. I suppose I usually start this by asking how people got into gaming. Really, I feel like you're a lot broader than just a gamer. But I mean, let's start there anyway, because you do game, and I know you streaming kind of started off with gaming. So, how did you get into gaming? Where did that start for you?
I got into gaming playing Time Splitters 2 on the original Xbox with my stepbrothers, and to stay on, you had to not lose. If you failed the mission, the person with the lowest score had to give the controller to because there was 3 of us all together, had to give the controller to the other person. So
right.
that's where my gaming started. Time Splitters 2. It was the Harry Potter game. I think that was on the PlayStation 1, actually. We had both, you see. Bougie.
Right. Oh, okay. Very bougie, yeah. Not what I expected from a raw northern man like yourself.
I know, yeah. Well, front market, but... We didn't have to buy a game. They came in these foldable CD things, and it was just a CD disc that had the name like SSX Tricky wrote on it.
God of the days of chipped consoles, but okay. So I like that thing of people sitting around a console and it having to be a shared thing. Like now it's like the biggest trouble you have is if you've got more than 4 reviews that want to play and you're in a COD lobby or something. It's a bit awkward that you have to kick someone out. But those days of literally sitting around a console with a split screen and having to share controllers is a nice one. So you started off. You had an Xbox and you had a PlayStation. What PlayStation would this have been?
PlayStation 1.
2? PlayStation 1.
I was on the PlayStation 1 when everybody was on the PlayStation 2.
Okay. All right, nice. So you started gaming? Did you say with your brothers?
With my brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first taste.
Are you the youngest or the oldest?
I'm the youngest. They're actually twin. They're twin brothers who are 20.
Unprofessional.
This is getting
We just had this
out.
conversation about the phone, haven't we?
It's off now. It's off, right. They're actually twin brothers, and I think they've got to be over 30 now. They've moved to Canada now, so never see them.
It's all gone quite serious and sad. Okay, so you started off. They're older than you, and did that make you better at gaming? That the pressure of wanting to stay on?
The competition was massive. It was huge.
Right, okay.
You had to be good. I started off. There was a stepsister as well, who was their blood sister. She had to. Right. She retired early doors because she just never got the never got the control. Right. I mean, it was game changing when you could connect more than 2. I think that was when we went to the PlayStation 2. But on that PlayStation 1, there was only 2 ports, and you had to be the one with the highest score.
I like it. I like that. I like that level of rivalry. And I mean, fair play to your brothers as well. Being older brothers, they could have just took control of the console and just not let you on it, but that, they've given you a chance, they've given you an opportunity to better yourself and to get in there. So you started off on the original Xbox and PlayStation, and then has there ever been a point where you've had like a break from gaming, or is it just been a consistent thing throughout?
I stopped.
Like, your life?
I stopped at 18.
Mm.
No, 18. Yeah, because my relationship got quite serious. And we moved in together, but we didn't have the funds to fund moving in together and gaming, because gaming's not a cheap hobby.
Yeah,
you can finance an Xbox, but like when you're paying bills, and I didn't know what council tax was at this age. So when you're paying bills and then trying to get it, just didn't work out. So along came my first kid, and I had some rubbish jobs. I was a night staff at a petrol station when my child was, we first found out I was having a kid, because I was at university. I had to back out. I was a night staff at a petrol station, then a BT call centre employee. I was ripping off your grandmas. And then I got a job in a trade, and I've just stayed there now. And now I can afford a budget gaming PC whilst having kids.
Yeah, the kids are a real challenge, aren't they? They just literally step out of their mum and onto your dreams, I think is how I look at it. Okay, so a lot happening kind of in those early years. So when is it that you got back into gaming again? Like what was the gap in terms of years?
3 years ago when I first started streaming. I came back with the intention of streaming. So to get the PC, it was like an accountant's meeting with a CEO. I had to be that prepared going to the missus. I had a PowerPoint presentation, which I'd written because I didn't have a PC at the time, so no access to PowerPoint. That might be a lie, but I had to go and like, I'm going to get a PC. I used to make music. I don't really talk about that anymore. I used to make beats and stuff. So the plan when I was getting my PC was to start making beats again, because my little brother, he wants to be a rapper. So I was like, look, I can help him with this. If I get a PC, I can get Fruity Loops back and I can start making some beats again. I got a PC, downloaded Rocket League, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm back on the gaming. Still not made a beat.
Just to this day.
No, I have.
I mean, we can't just skip over the music. We can't just skip over that, because that's a creative endeavor. What's the music situation? What music were you doing?
I used to, for all my money, pre-kids, I used to busk in the streets with a guitar.
Oh, wonderful! I did that. I did that.
Yeah, I loved it. That was, but that when you do that, there's no guaranteed income. I mean, near Christmas, you wrap up warm and you go out with your guitar, mate. You're coming home with a few $100, like it's gonna look good.
Good stuff around those holidays.
But February,
I always used to hate it, and this is a terrible thing to say, but my worst time of year busking was around Remembrance Day, where they're selling poppies. Yep. And I know this is bad.
You can't compete with that, can you?
You can't compete with it. You can't compete with it, and people will always buy a poppy, quite rightly so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But they won't. That was the money that was going to go in your guitar case.
Yeah.
And also every now and then, because I bust old school, everyone's got amps and mics and stuff now. I just went out literally with my guitar on my back and just went and sang on a street corner. Every now and then there would be a guy. He usually was playing panpipes, the Titanic theme tune on panpipes, and he would have a PA system, and he would set up so close to me that he would drown out my vocals. It's very tough. But yeah, like you say, around Christmas, it was always good. I mean, you would freeze to death and you get carpal tunnel syndrome from playing the guitar in the freezing cold. But around Christmas, that's when you'd see the fibers start dropping.
I had to stop. Yeah, I got a letter from the police saying I had to stop.
Really?
Yeah, I never got a busking license.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think it helped that I literally used to buy a £10 car battery and take a normal guitar amp and connect the amp to the positive and negative of the car battery.
I mean, that seems, and
this would just be on the street, so.
And that was when I realised I love electrics.
Yeah, looking back, it's not a great setup, but
God forbid,
it's a way to start.
You're in a little bit of rain.
Yeah. M&S hated me as
Anyway.
well. They had a thing where I couldn't be outside their shop.
I also think there is this weird impression that I had a few friends from school who would see me busking, and they'd assume that I'd become homeless. That there was this weird thing in their head that if you were a busker, you were also kind of a kind of vagabond type figure that would just huddle up in a corner, in a shop doorway at the end of your shift. And I was like, no, this is the job for me.
Yeah,
they couldn't understand it. So you used to busk, then you were making beats, undefined beats.
I made all sorts. I've made dance tunes. I made a classical music tune. There's a rap song that circulates round, and a few people have found.
Okay. Right. Well, I'd like to receive a link for that. Mainly so I can just.
It goes out when. Goes out when my YouTube it's 1K.
Oh really?
Okay. But in fairness, that rap song isn't me. I went at college where I did a creative course, and one of the courses on it, which I really enjoyed, was they partnered us with a local rapper or musician, but it was all just rappers, and we had to make them a music video. Now, on our first day of filming, we went to meet him at the spot. He wasn't there. We rang the company who would set all this up. And they were like, oh, we'll try and get hold of him. They rang us back 45 minutes later and they said, he's been locked up. So then I had to be the starring man and mime his rap song.
In true, I mean, seems like quite an authentic rap story. Yeah. For him, at least. Not necessarily for you, who just, stole the limelight from him. Anyway, I like it. So people just assume it is you, but it's not you.
You can tell it's not me. If you but people want to believe it's me, I think.
Okay. So you're not a rapper, or you are a rapper? You're not a rapper. Okay.
If the price is right.
If the price is right, I think you'd be anything for the right price. To be honest, having known you for a little bit now. Yeah. Okay, so the music's kind of going on in the background there. So I suppose you've always been like a creative then, in one sense or another.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always endeavoured on something creative. That was my mum, and I hated it at the time. But my mum got me violin lessons from age of 8, and then
it's the worst instrument to choose for a child as well. I just got to say, this is anything that hasn't got frets.
That's why she did it. That's why she did it, though.
It's great, like musically, it's great because you have to learn to listen and like feel for the right note. But like with a guitar, it's like, well, that's where that note is in between those two frets. With a violin, it's like you could get that note, you could get something just off that. Yeah, that's around there. Yeah, I mean that is good. But it's horrible to listen to someone learning a violin.
Oh yeah, but she had to put up with that.
Yeah, so she got you a violin, and then what? You just carried on with music from there, and
she decided I had
to creative from that point.
Yeah, she decided I had to always do something sporty and something creative. But as I got older, she gave me freedom of choice in the sport and in the creation. So I went to guitar and piano.
Nice. Okay. So you had a break from gaming, and then you came back with the intention of streaming.
Yeah, that was the full. Well, the intention was to make the beats, and then I was like, well, I've still got to do something productive to prove to the missus that this PC wasn't just a hobby. Then, like, I was trying to do something.
Okay, so I suppose you kind of wanted to get back into something creative again, and your brother wanted to be a rapper. Was the gateway to that your kind of proof of concept to say, well, I need to do this to help my brother, and then you veered off into other stuff.
Yes.
At the same time, I find it really weird that not weird. This is from my perspective. I find it odd that you came back with the intention of streaming purely because.
Right. So there is a link if you want me to fill in with the link to that. Yeah. So I ordered the PC with the beat thing. It was Jesus fuck. It was about 6 weeks delivery because it was COVID. It was about COVID time, so everybody was buying PCs, everybody was buying consoles, Nintendo Switches, everything. So my friend, big up Exion, he was called Cursicus at the time. He was tilting on being a full-time Twitch streamer at that time. He had some benefits in that he, didn't have many bills, blah, 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 but he was tilting on it and he was pushing for that. And I used to help him out a lot and go live and play games like Sea of Thieves and stuff with him. And there was a stream he did where we played Sea of Thieves and I was making a joke about I can do any accent in the world to wind him up.
Yeah.
And it basically, the joke, someone in his chat would go, "Oh, can you do Yoda?" And I'd go, "Hey, I'm Yoda. I'm walking here." And then they'd say someone else and I'd do the exact same voice, but just change, "Hey, I'm Chewbacca." And like that. And that was the whole joke. And then someone who was watching it animated it. And it was like, as if it was a podcast, like this really rubbish animation, but it fit it well. And I was like, I like that. I enjoyed that. I want a piece of that.
Yeah.
So then I started.
That's chasing that ever since.
So by when the PC came, it was like, well, actually, I kind of want to try this as well.
Okay.
So that's the link.
So gaming was, I suppose, again, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to stream games. It's just like, it was, again, I want to do something creative and I play games.
Yeah.
These two things kind of go
my
together.
first 5-10 streams were no gameplay. I was on Twitch just talking. I'd have my monitor shown, but it'd be like, I went watching other YouTube content, but like we'd be talking about something and we'd be pulling up bits that we were talking about.
Stuff. Yeah.
So I didn't play games on stream for probably 10 streams.
So, I mean, I find it fascinating. I guess that makes more sense now. Partly for me is because I couldn't understand. I could never understand how people watched why people watched other people game. It made no sense to me. And then,
I'm from a generation where we did do that though. So that you're from a different generation totally, but so like I was actually speaking to another streamer about this yesterday, Dead Friend Redemption, and he was saying about how he can't stand KSI, and I said I don't like KSI now, but what you've got to realize when
I can't believe you've just outed dead for hating KSI.
I don't think it's a secret. I don't think it's a secret at all.
You just open about it. Okay, well, we'll find out, won't we?
I don't know what the motives are.
If you wanna connect, this is the medium through which you connect. This podcast connects both of these people.
I don't know what the motives of him not liking. Well, I do, but that's by the by. But I was saying like, so people like KSI, when I was 10 years ago, I was like 15 years ago, I was like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah,
they were huge. And that's all I watched. So content was new, and it was this amazing thing. And and then I got a bit older, and I was like, I want a piece of that now.
Yeah, I suppose because you're 20? How old are you now?
26.
26. Yeah, so there's like 9-10 years between us. So I'm very much like KSI is something that KSI and that kind of generation of people is something that I've experienced as an adult, essentially, rather than being. So I suppose I got that a lot less. But obviously, got into this and gone, oh, well, what it is interesting and discovered why it is that people like to do that and kind of found more into streaming like that. But I guess for your generation, streaming and that kind of stuff was much more of a, oh, I want to do it because those people are doing it, or you've grown up watching that kind of content, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. And you're kind of... You had a period of streaming. Oh, this was before we knew each other, so I don't know that much about this. But you had a period of streaming, and from what I've heard, it was successful. It's
the most success I've had to date. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, that's quite a low bar.
No, it is a fairly low bar.
But it was successful and getting better.
Yeah.
So was there a point at which, and this was on Twitch, wasn't it?
Twitch, yeah, solely Twitch, nothing else. Okay,
so I mean, what was the kind of pinnacle of that? Like, where were you heading towards in terms of success and numbers and interaction and that kind of stuff? And then why did that stop? Why did you back away?
So at the peak on Twitch, I was sitting anywhere between 15 and 50 viewers. Exclusively playing Fortnite. If I tried anything else, I wouldn't get half as many views.
Yeah.
exclusively playing Fortnite, playing with subs, and if people were subbed, they could play. But at the same time, I ran a competition where someone could potentially get their Twitch username tattooed under my eyebrow. So I said, whoever gifted the most subs, and if we hit 100 subs, whoever's gifted the most will have the tattoo here. And now there was, I think, we got well over 100 subs. And there was a certain person whose name was on the top. I have spoke to this person since, and they said they don't want to do it. They're actually a really religious person from America, and he was like, "Oh, I was just supporting you because I think you're really nice, whatever." He's a pastor in a church in America, and his username is really, really long as well. So it might have been a monograph. But yeah, it was. So I think we hit 199 subs on Twitch, which, I mean, it's not in the grand scheme of things in people being full time on there is nothing, but on Twitch, as if there's anyone who's just a Twitch streamer will know, like getting above that 5 average viewers is like one of the hardest things to do on Twitch starting there, where I was sitting on about, my average viewers was 17 point something or other, but I had to only play Fortnite. And then as it's going really well and I'm doing this and I've stopped playing sport and I'm just every evening, kid asleep, it was only one, kid asleep, Mrs. happy, she's had a back tickle, fallen asleep, whatever, streaming time. Yeah. At that point, we found out we were having a second kid and I had to go, right, okay, job's number one. I mean, at the time I wasn't earning enough to support the full family dynamic because we'd gone from a really cheap living situation to being thrown out there to an expensive living situation. So the streaming, all that money actually just completely kept me afloat. Right. So it was lucky. And then the second kid came and I was like, I'm just going to have to commit to overtime because that's the most viable thing I can think to do at this moment in time.
Right. Okay. So that's why you took the break from Twitch originally.
I've never gone back.
Well, you've never gone back to Twitch. So presumably you have the second kid that settles down after a bit. You've kind of got a secure job and making a decent amount of money, etc., and that's the point at which you go right back to doing something creative again. Yeah. Okay, and why the decision not to go back to Twitch?
Well, I've never spoke about this, but it was the last person on, so we may as well just do it. There's a nice direct link here. So I started networking again, which if you're a Twitch streamer is massive. You need Twitch people who are streamers and will support you because there's no discoverability. So you need to be in Discord servers where people who know you and know your content are going to be like, guys, this guy's live, you should all go over and check him out. And that's one way of feeding new people in. So I started networking with the intention of, I'm going to start streaming again. So I was in a few different ones and I was finding new people and I joined a streamer called Ghost something. I can't remember his name, in all honesty. And in his chat, there was someone by the username of Swips. Yeah. And Swips basically, which I think is a bit of a no-no on Twitch, but it is what it is. I said, I'm just getting into Apex Legends. He was playing Apex Legends. Swips says, I do a daily thing on Twitch where I help people rank up in Apex and teach them. You should come by. I'm going to be live tonight about 7:00. Yeah. So I pop my head in.
It's the thing you can do in someone else's stream, isn't it? I can't believe
it is, yeah. But I believe him and that Ghost were actually like friends. So so I went into Swips's. He didn't even give me a choice. He was like, right, come on, you're going to play. So I hopped in. He was chatting to me. This was before he had like 30 people in most streams. So there was maybe like 3. So it was actually like direct conversation. And we hit it off and stayed in touch, kept going into his streams. And the next thing it was, should we start a podcast? So then that's where Fat Dads came into the picture. So my intended comeback was to go back onto Twitch. I met Swips, who gave me a bit more enthusiasm to the whole thing because he's so enthusiastic about the whole thing. Yeah. And it was, right, let's start a podcast. And then that podcast became a gaming channel, and the gaming channel, I mean, it sits on 1,030 subs now, that channel. We don't use it. but it's there. It got 1,000 subs. It's had videos that have done successful. It was a good channel.
So I think you're a bit like me in the sense of like the actual format of what you're doing is it's not irrelevant, but it's less relevant than the act of just being creative, doing something creative. Like I think I go a bit mad and get a bit depressed and get a bit horrible if I don't have some kind of creative output. And that's been many things. It's been painting, it's been music, it's been magic when I was younger. It's been lots of different things. This is the longest that I've stuck at a creative endeavor of this kind. But yeah, would you say that's right? It's more about the act of being creative than it is about it being gaming or it being one thing or another.
I need two things away from my household, like separate to my wife and kids. One is a sporting hobby to burn off any of that excess of energy and build up of stress and aggression, whatever. And the second one is I need something creative. I've been in bands and that tickled that itch. There was a period where I was writing stand-up comedy and I did 3 open mic gigs. That tickled that itch. But this does it more because I don't have to leave the house. So I know that I'm here. Should one of the kids decide to get poorly of an evening, I'm still here.
They do that sometimes. They do make those decisions, children.
Yeah, they just decide like, I'm going to ruin this week now. It's Wednesday. I'm going to be ill till next Tuesday and you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, and guess what? Just as I'm getting better, you get ill, my fine friend. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's it. So now I'm going to be fine and have all my energy, but you're going to feel rubbish. So you still got to get me to school, but I've got to do it whilst feeling rubbish. And I'm going to be on my scooter heading to a road at full pelt.
Yeah.
That's what kids do.
Yeah. Standard kid behaviour. Like it. So yeah, this one, I suppose, like the barrier to entry is lower because you have access to the world through your PC. You don't have to. Do you think that gives people the illusion that it's easy?
Yeah.
Do you think it's easy?
Yeah. It's as easy and as hard as you want it to be, innit? Yeah. You've got it hard, but if you saw how little I do, you'd think, God, he's got it easy. It's as easy. I'm not saying it is easy, but like Timmy, who's still in year 8 at school, who boots up Rocket League and all its mates watch him every weekend, he never makes a video, he never makes a clip, but sits there on 10 viewers because all his mates from school watch him. Yeah, it's easy, but Swips, again, we'll go back to him, he was the last on, in a position where he's lost his job, so he's giving it a go at full time, having to teach himself how to make a TikTok that will perform well, how to structure his life so that he doesn't annoy his family. It's hard, isn't it? It's as easy or as hard as you endeavour it to be.
I suppose you got quite a unique. Well, I don't think you're in a unique position necessarily, but you've got a unique perspective on, because we talk a lot about. We have like regular calls where it's like, this is what's working, this is what's not, this is how you should, kind of critiquing each other's work and saying what's good and what's not and where you should be pushing and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I'll say stuff to you and you just go, yeah, but I don't care. Like, I just want to make a fun video and I don't care what happens to it. And I think that's, it's, I guess maybe not 100% true, because I think there are elements about it you do care about and you do want things to perform and you do want it to be successful. But on the other hand, I suppose it's not, it's kind of in the hierarchy of things that are important to you. It's fairly low down. Is that the right way to put it?
All I want is that if I click live or if I put a video up, at least 2 or 3 people's gone. I don't know the right word for this. They've maybe a little twitch, because nobody sits smiling at the phone. But maybe they've gone like that.
I do. I sit smiling at my phone, but it's all just my own content.
Yeah.
I'm just going through my own photo library on my phone going, oh, that was quite good.
Yeah, that was a good video. That was a good one. Yeah, that's all I'm at. Or maybe a little exhale out the nose, a little, like that little laugh, that phone laugh you do where you're not actually laughing. But you would have laughed. If you were in a setting of 100 people, you'd have laughed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you were one-on-one, you'd have laughed, but you don't. But yeah, I mean, I do care. And people might look at my TikTok and go, Right now, if you looked at it, you go, oh, he's got a video that's over 450k and still going. And it's just a daft little video where I've stuck my mouth over that baby that's on about the Four Seasons Orlando. It took me 40 seconds to make that video. And you go, oh, it's easy. But if you look past that, you'll see 300, 500, 400, 200, 1K. You just got to keep going.
I mean, I exactly the same. Where my most successful video is a video that, and I've talked about this a lot, but there's multiple variables to it in terms of it being, at the right time and right place and blah, 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 blah. But it was a video I wasn't going to make. It wasn't at the quality. I mean, we talk about this again quite a lot. Out of all of us that have these chats, I'm the one that's got all the gear and no idea. I've bought the camera and I've bought the microphones and all that stuff. So like, quality-wise, the videos always look good. But this one is just on my phone in the dark at the end of a stream. It's 3 minutes to make. Crap joke. And it absolutely smashed it. 2.6 million views. And part of it's annoying because it's like I put so much effort into these other things and they don't hit. And then sometimes you just find these little.
I think there's this weird spot we're in that TikTok's put us in because people like Mr. Beast brought expectations of content and quality to be here.
Yeah.
And then TikTok's gone, nah, you can get 100 mil views just sat in your phone recording on you, sat in your car, lip singing to this rose of flames, addiction with fire. And you can get 100 million likes just by doing that because the lighting's right and you're somewhat aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So TikTok has done this weird thing, and it's a strange, but it's a bit like Vine, and I quite like that people can just go and do that. I quite like it.
Yeah. I have mixed emotions about it. I like that it's kind of, at least for now, it feels like it's democratized like access to content a little bit in a way that other platforms haven't really done, I guess. I suppose that was there in the early days. But on the other hand, I feel like it will go the way of other platforms. I mean, it has to go the way of other platforms. My background is marketing, right? The TikTok will eventually, they want to get to the point of profitability. They want to get to the point of pleasing advertisers. And the way to do that is to reduce people's organic reach in a false way and get them to pay to advertise their views. That's the key way to do it. So I think it will go that way. But it is, at the moment, seems to be the platform where you can get the most reach in the simplest possible way. But like you say, even those people that go viral for the lip syncing things or the, chocolate covered strawberries or whatever it was, I mean, that feels a bit like satire to me in terms of why that went viral. But for every one of those videos, there's 1,000 videos on those accounts that of the same thing that didn't do well. There's, it's very rare, I think, that someone comes on, does one video and here's 10 million views. I'm sure it does happen, but it feels rare to me that happens. There's always some kind of work behind the scenes, don't you think?
Have you had the taste of someone not duetting, but they record your video and then they put the people making slime next to it? Has anyone done that to any of your videos yet?
I haven't had that, but I've had people, my viral video, my 2.6 million one, I had that thing of people trying to jump on the bandwagon. They'd obviously gone into search and my video was in, the top 3 or whatever of that trend at that time.
Yeah.
Maybe the top 5 or something. And the other ones were Lad Bible and Vice. And it was like big brand, big media units. So they were duetting it, trying to, I guess, they weren't adding that much to it, but they were trying to get some of that. I've also had videos. My other video, I can't be 100% sure on this because I don't think there's any new ideas in the sun, but there's another video I did that is just under 1 million that was about PlayStation, and I'd seen some other creators create a video after me that scripting-wise was
pretty similar.
So similar that it was questionable, and that's fine. I don't mind that at all. It's not an issue. There's no new stuff under the sun, like I said. But yeah, that it was so similar that I thought there's no way that this can this can be a coincidence. But no, I haven't had people doing like.
It's happened
GTA
on that baby
footage.
one, yeah.
Has it?
Yeah. So it's had three duets. Well, it's not though, because one of them my missus found. And she went, "In this your video?" And it's like there's no connection to me. They've not duetted it. They've not stitched it. They've just downloaded it,
stolen the content. Yeah.
Put someone making like the DIY life hacks where it's like, oh yeah, just heat up this saw blade to 500 degrees and it'll now cut anything. And it's just that happening underneath, and then it's just me going, "Mother." Above, and it's like, what are you gaining?
We should so the baby thing is the footage of the Who Wants to Go to the Four Seasons Orlando and the baby going me, and you've done a voiceover with the kind of mouth filter on it.
Yeah. Same as everyone else who's done it.
But it's we keep talking about this baby video, and I feel like we should just clarify what that was.
Everyone knows that video. It's massive, isn't
it? Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so it's I haven't had that level of fame yet, but you've also been recognised in public, and I have not been recognised in public by anyone other than content creators.
Yeah, but they knew where I was going to be.
People know it. Is that what I need to start doing? People know where I'm going to be.
I work all over, don't I? So I do. I have been known to put in my Discord, "I'm going to this city today. If anybody's from there, I'm happy to say hello."
Right.
And then I've had a cup of coffee with someone who used to watch it, but it's all half premeditated. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, you've just gone through the process of starting up a couple of the accounts on TikTok. We don't need to necessarily go into what those accounts are or whatever. That's not a thing we need to do. But I know your reasoning, but I'm curious to hear you talk about what your reasoning was for setting up other accounts on TikTok outside of your main account.
Yeah, money.
No,
no, they don't earn anything. I think it's a trend at the minute that people are saying, "I am amazing at making faceless accounts," and I'm now earning loads of money off faceless accounts. So I thought, well, I'm struggling on mine, so I'm going to try making. I've got 4 now. I'm going to try making some accounts that have no connection to me whatsoever. Mm-hmm. There's one which I've reposted because I actually quite like the video I made, but other than that, there's absolutely no link. I don't follow him. They don't follow my account, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was just to sort of see if you really dial into a niche on TikTok. So one's a boxing one, one's a mental health motivation-y type one. Mm-hmm. The other 2 are, just check because I can't remember. There's a football one.
100% dedication here.
So
dedicated to the craft, he even knows what the subjects are.
There's a football one and there's a memes one.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so it was just to see how stuff like that can perform, and they're performing better than my own TikTok channel. Every single one of them is.
And what's your theory? What's your theory for why that is?
If I could start TikTok again, if I could restart WSockett but still be able to go live, I would just every video would be completely set to a very specific niche. And by specific, I mean broad enough that there's a whole subject on it, but you could do questions on Mastermind about it. Like the people who prepare the show would be like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And then I'd just do that, and that's all my videos would ever be. They'd never veer off of it. They'd pick something that people will interact with, but it's whereas on WSockett, I'm trying to sell this. That's quite hard.
I don't know. It's a wonderful face. I would describe it as a bespoke face. It's made specifically for you, like a
unrecognizable
mahogany cabinet. Yeah.
This is my own doing, this bit.
Right. Okay. That's fine.
There's just nothing in it really anymore.
Yeah. Is that from breakages? My dad had all the cartilage removed from his nose.
Yeah, it was from playing rugby, and my ears are from that as well. They're a bit cauliflowered. They've settled down in
I like that. I like that though. That feels like a badge of honor, a cauliflower ear to me. Right. Listen. So you started these new accounts, and I think part of what you said to me is like you wanted to prove to yourself that you could
that I could do TikTok now.
Because you'd had challenges with your own account and whatever. But then the irony of it is, you know, quite soon after that, you did have videos do well on your own account.
Yeah.
So, you know, the stuff, and we've spoken a little bit about this before, and I think everyone goes through this phase of going, the algorithm hates me, I'm shadow banned.
Yeah.
You watch a lot of videos about TikTok SEO and all that business, and, you know, you go through all of that.
Can I say something controversial? To veer off from this. Shadow banning does not exist.
Okay. You're looking right into the camera. I like it. What's your... I kind of tend to agree with you on that. But what's your...
You fucked up. You've done something wrong somewhere. Somewhere along the lines, you have done something that the TikTok didn't like, and you need to find it, erase it, and go again. And that's exactly what happened to me. I made them accounts to prove that I knew TikTok, because I was thinking, am I shadow banned here? Went back on some other accounts, scrolled down, found a video that had been reported and marked as child safety, minor safety. Deleted that. 500k views on the next video.
Yeah, and the part, I think we should clarify. We should clarify.
We don't have to clarify anything. We can leave it as
the
minor safety or jeopardy because of me.
Talking about the next video getting 500 views. There's probably some relationship between those two things happening, but not necessarily one thing happened because
no. It got 500,000 views because I hopped on a trend, but it probably would have ended on 350 if I hadn't cleared that other thing because it was stopping the discoverability of my account and my videos. Yeah, that's what I think. It wasn't that I was shadow banned. It's because I did something wrong on a video that TikTok didn't like, took down my discoverability.
Yeah.
But then again, you can check. You can check if you've done something wrong. If you go on more data and scroll down to the bottom, it'll say where your percentage of views are coming from. And if it's really low on the for you know that you've done something wrong there. You need to find out what it is.
Yeah. So what's next for you then? You kind of in this you have the freedom to do whatever you want. You've not niched down particularly, which is maybe a problem, maybe not a problem. But like, what's next for you in terms of creative endeavors?
YouTube. That's the next thing I need to figure out now. I've got some weird little podcasts. They are little, especially in comparison to this one already. Where they're just going to be daft little things. I'm going to try the gaming things, but I've just not had the want to sit and edit a gaming video. It can take hours, and when it ends on 8 views, you're like, could have watched Baby Reindeer with the missus instead of editing that video. But YouTube's the next step now. So the live streaming on TikTok is fun, and that will always just be for fun for me. There's no need for it other than I just enjoy doing that. But it's gonna move to less gaming. I tried doing a talent show and then didn't show up to the live, so I'm gonna retry doing the talent show. Where there's a giveaway at the end. Just try face stuff like that. That's the next step for me. I think go back to where I first started on Twitch, which was no gaming, all talking on TikTok, and put the gaming stuff as recorded stuff on YouTube.
Nice, like it. Well, listen, man, thanks for your time. You have been a constant support to me from the moment I became unemployable, and I appreciate you, and I love your content. So thank you for.
Can I leave a parting message as well?
Of course you can. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So this is probably the most serious anyone's ever seen me be about content, and if it's making you think I might reach out and ask him some questions on content, don't. I won't respond. I don't have any answers. I'm here just winging it myself. You're better speaking to... Who was the geezer who was on a couple of weeks ago? Webby? He knows a lot more than I do. So I'd ask him. Ask Charm. Charm loves getting messages about how to make content.
Yeah.
So maybe ask Charm.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that, mate. I appreciate you. Yeah, this has been very serious and very odd conversation to have had with Sockett, really. It's always usually a bit more off-piste than this is probably a good way to put it. But yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for jumping on. And yeah, let's do it again. I don't know. Do it again in a year. See if we're both destitute or
Can we, when GTA 6 doesn't come out, can we get me, Andy, and Dead Friend all back on again to your channel to talk about GTA?
How you were right. Yeah.
Well, we can look over the ones we did before and then try and do some new ones, because I thought that podcast was really serious.
Serious. Everything I do is very serious, as you know. Right. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, and we'll do this again soon.